The fourth tip on how you can study the accounting standards is your studying style. You see, we all learn in a different way, and it is important you identify what works best for you, then you optimize on that. So you need to identify your studying style and study using that style. So you have to sit down and ask yourself, how do you remember things? How do you get things to stick? And this is where I have problem with a lot of students, because there are a lot of students, you know, you are writing the exam, you know your problem is corporate reporting, financial reporting, you know you have challenge with the accounting standards, but they will wait. They will not study. And they'll be giving themselves excuses. Oh, my father, my mother, my wife, my husband, my children, my job. Yes, all those things are important. But they will be giving themselves these excuses. Then 2 weeks to the exams. A week to the exam, you take leave and you think you can put all of these principles into one sitting. No. It cannot work that way. You don't become successful that way. That is not how you pass the examination. It cannot work that way. You don't pass the examination in that manner. So look at your studying style. What works best for you? For some of you, you have to read something over and over again before you get it. Because you see, you need to, whatever you are studying, you need to get to the aha moment. The aha moment is, okay, this is how this thing is. If you learn, you can only say, I understand this thing, if you get that aha moment. That, all right, this thing, okay, this is how it is. Then that means it has sunk. And this is not, coming out with something, no, but it's like really, you get the idea. So find out what works best for you. If it is repetitive studying, make time to do repetitive studying. If it is, another thing is you have to engage all your senses when you are studying. And I've shared this over and over again on the channel. You can check how to playlist on the channel, and you can look at this, because your sight, what you are hearing, what you are looking at, even your smell, okay, affect your memory level, your retention capacity. Because if you are surrounded by a scent that you don't like, your brain is not going to work well and you can't retain a lot of the information. But if you are surrounded with a nicer smell, it stimulates your brain to ensure that you're able to remember everything you are studying. So imagine you pick a book and then you are studying at the dining hall and your wife is cooking. All right, then you can smell the aroma of the food, and all of a sudden, nothing you are studying will stick, because at that time, your brain has been stimulated, your appetite has risen, and your salivary gland is just secreting saliva, and everything in you is saying that, let's go eat. This food is going to be nice. So at that time, you lose your senses of remembering whatever it is that you are studying in that moment. So engage your senses. There are sometimes listen to the lectures, just listen in the background. Probably you are washing, you are cooking. Maybe you're just listening because you have listened to it already, you have watched it, but you're just allowing it to play. Maybe you are jogging, then you are listening to it. You are in the gym, you are listening to it. You are cooking, you could be listening to it. Now, when you listen to it over and over again, it increases your retention memory, because it tells your brain that this thing is important. Let's post this way. Let's keep it here so that we can call it up over and over again. There is nothing you study that you forget. Nobody forgets. The problem is that there is a lot of chaos in your mind. So if you don't order yourself, then you can't recollect an information when it is required. Why am I saying this? And this is not me. This is science proven. This has happened to you before. You are in an exam hall, or you are having a discussion with someone, and there is something you've heard, you've read about it, that you want to tell this person, or that you want to provide the answer to, but you do whatever it is, you can't remember. But then you are just lying down. Or maybe you are in the washroom or you are bathing, and as the water is just pouring over you like that, all of a sudden, something that you couldn't remember in the exam hall, something that you couldn't write, now it is just coming. It is just coming. It is just coming. And you're like, I don't need it now. Why is it coming now? It's because at that point, you are calm. Your nerves are very excited. So your brain has relaxed, and so now it is bringing out the things that you have put in that it considers necessary, and just bringing it back to your memory and refreshing your memory. That is how life is. So there is nothing that you have studied that you say, I have forgotten. For the most part, it is there. Only that you use the wrong strategy, you use the wrong approach, so there's a lot of chaos in your brain. So to have some order, make sure you make time to study. Make sure you engage your senses. Make sure you use your study strategies very well. For some of you, you cannot study alone. You work with a study partner. Find out. So maybe someone else is doing financial reporting or corporate reporting, and be careful when choosing a study partner. But that is it. Talk with the person, sit the person down, hold yourself accountable. So what if you have a study partner? What is going to happen is that maybe your study partner will learn IAS 16, then you will learn IAS 12, income tax. So when you meet, then you are going to be asking the questions about IAS 16. So you have some questions and answers about IAS 16 you're going to be asking, and this is going to be sometimes audible, verbal discussion. Then they will also ask you a question about the IAS 12 that you studied. Then you are discussing it together. Then if there is anything you need clarity, you refer to your notes. Then after that, you pick a question in respect of the standards that the two of you have just studied, have just revised. Then you solve the questions in that regard. That is going to be very productive, and that can help you a lot to really understand what you are studying, and most importantly, retain what you are studying so that you can recollect it when it is needed. So that is the next tip that you need to know about. You have to study, but make sure that you are learning in the right environment, using the right strategy and approaches to increase your retention level and to increase your ability to be able to recollect the information. So how do you pass the accounting standards? How do you understand the accounting standards? You understand the accounting standards if you spend time to understand the principles and you adopt the right strategy.